So if you're flinching, it might not be a bad thing, but we're going to be working on it, and the way we're going to be working on it is trigger control. Now, anticipation, it's unfortunately something that needs a lot of work, but we're going to solve that today. You're here for one reason only. You want to get good. Trigger control is the most important thing. Well, one of the most important things aside from, aligning your sights properly. Chances are, if you're missing, you're either doing one of those two things wrong. You're either aiming wrong or you're pulling the trigger wrong. If you're doing both wrong, but those two things will guarantee you a hit. If your sights are on target and your trigger pull is right, you will have a hit where those sights were. Guaranteed. Nothing else. Your grip can be wrong, your stance can be wrong, everything can be wrong. If everything is right with your sight acquisition and your trigger pull, beautiful hit. So first thing is I'm going to show you how people usually do it wrong. Now, a lot of the times there's a lot of discussion about how much finger you should put on the trigger. Some people say just the little end piece here of your finger must be on the trigger like that. That doesn't really matter that much. I mean, we've got a lot of different pistols and different sizes. This, for instance, is the MC9L. I might stick my finger in a little bit more than that. The most important thing is squeezing it straight back without disrupting the pistol. So I'm squeezing the trigger straight back and the pistol is still, very still. Now, there is another thing that people tend to do. What they will do is they will pull the trigger way too hard. Now, when you pull the trigger way too hard, you might be torquing it off to the low and the left. So if you've got a lot of shots low and left, this is probably the mistake that you're making, is you're giving it a little bit too much. So just give it that 3.5 pounds that it needs to break. Pro tip, if you want to shoot a little bit faster, pin the trigger back. Keep it there, let the gun recoil, and then slowly let it forward until you hear that, and you'll also feel it, hear and feel that click. When you get to that click, that is the gun, the trigger mechanism has now reset. So if I pull just from here, it'll click again. So that's all we need to do to get quicker shots. That's all we need to do. Instead of letting go completely, giving the trigger air, we don't want to be slapping it. If we slap it, you see how much the gun is moving. It's really tricky for your index finger to move separately to your hand, especially if your hand's tense. So you actually want to loosen this hand up so that you've got a little bit more finesse on your trigger finger. It's as simple as that. I'll try and show you the difference between a right trigger pull and a wrong trigger pull. So first, let's do it wrong. I'm going to pull the trigger way too hard and I'm going to tense my hand up, and you'll see what the difference is. I don't know if you noticed, but I actually anticipated a little bit there because I was like staging the trigger and waiting for the shot to go off. So I think at that very last moment, I actually dipped the gun down. Now, if I dip the gun down, where's it going to shoot? It's going to shoot where the last place that the sights were pointed at. So let's rather work this out. Let's iron it out by staging, pulling the trigger, pulling. We're going to apply a constant pressure until the gunshot goes off. We're just going to apply until it goes off. So we want the pressure to build up like this. We don't want to get to the wall and then yank it in there. We're just going to stage it until it goes off. And sometimes it'll catch you by surprise. That's actually what we want. If the sights are on, start squeezing that trigger, start applying that constant pressure. And if you do it that way, you're going to have some good hits on target. Thanks for watching, guys. There's a lot more videos like this on Canik Africa, on our YouTube page, on our Instagram page. Let me know if this has made a difference in your life. Let me know what you want to see next. I'll see you guys for the next one.